Okay, hello everyone. This is Eric, and today I'm going to talk about phonics. Before I start, let me give you a little bit of information. So, this is the first time I'm actually streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, although it's my personal Facebook, so all my Facebook friends and family, hello. I'm practicing something right now. Next Wednesday, I have to do a seminar on phonics, teaching phonics for young learners, and it's going to be broadcast in China. So for me to practice, I thought I'd do this tonight. I'm putting it on Facebook, and I'm also doing it on YouTube at the same time. I can't read your comments, so I think if I want to read your comments, I'll have to go out here and then check it like this. You can type in, you can type in YouTube, but I won't be able to get your Facebook comments unless I click over here. Let's just see this. Okay, is it working now? Let me just type in here. Is it working now? It looks like it is. It's really interesting. So I'm using a site that you can multi-stream with. And perhaps in the future I'll put it onto the Etiquette group. That's the group for my YouTube channel. This is just everything going on in the background. So yeah, this is me. You can see I'm on YouTube and I'm also on Facebook Live for the 3 people there. Mom, everyone, hello. I can't read your messages, but that's what I'm putting out. So I'm going to go here to the PPT. Okay, so a little bit of context. I'm going to help out a company. It's a publishing company and they do seminars all over Asia. Right now they do online seminars and they asked me to do one on phonics. I haven't taught phonics in a long time. Phonics is when you teach younger learners how to read and how to read English. So I made a quick presentation on how to teach younger learners. And at the start, when I start the presentation, first I'm quickly going to talk about one of their products. Then I'm going to do the presentation. And then at the very end, I'm going to do some examples with another product. It won't be that long. I think this entire presentation should be around 1 hour. Thank you so much for watching with me. Next week, I will go back to my normal live streams, but I thought I'd use this as a time to practice. And maybe, if you're also teaching younger learners, you could learn something too. If you have any more ideas or feedback that you can give me, please put it in the comments. I'm not going to be able to read it right now because I'm still learning how to do this, and I'm on the PowerPoint right now. But put your questions or your comments in the comments. Later, I'll read it and I'll respond to it. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for being so patient. I look forward to actually talking to you next week again. This is just going to be me doing a presentation to practice for that. Okay, well, let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Eric and today I'm going to do a presentation on how to teach phonics to younger learners. I've got my presentation down here. You can see teaching phonics, tips and tactics to make it easy. This is one of the toughest things about teaching. I've been teaching all different types of learners all over the world, and by far the most stress that you can have if you're not prepared is teaching young learners, because with older learners you can reason with them and you can talk with them and they're also more mature, but with younger students, they're very young, they're not used to everything, so you've got so many things that you have to teach them, which can make it difficult if you do it the wrong way. So today's presentation, I'm going to do a quick introduction. Then I'm going to focus on some teaching tips, lesson structure, how to structure your lessons for the classroom, phonics tips, and then I'm going to finish by looking at Jungle Phonics, one of the products from Ungjin Publishers. Ungjin is a massive company in Korea, and they also reach out to Asia and also Mexico. They've got fantastic products. I've used them in the past a lot. It's really good. So I'm very proud to do something for them. Okay, so introduction, the first step. Who am I? First, I'll talk about who I am, what you will learn in this seminar, in this presentation, and then I'll quickly look at reading oceans. Okay, so if you see here, it's introduction, teaching tips, lesson structure, phonics, and jungle phonics. Okay, introduction. Who am I? That's a great photo of me. My name is Eric Wesh. I'm actually a teacher. I've been teaching for 13 years. I've taught in South Africa, and I'm currently teaching in South Korea. I've taught every level imaginable, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, adults, business, and I'm currently teaching at a university here in South Korea. I've been here for about 10 years, and before that, 3 years, I taught elementary school in South Africa. I am also a YouTuber. I'm not a very good YouTuber, but I enjoy making videos to help other teachers. My channel's name's Edacute. I make content for teachers. I do activities and I share resources. It's just a lot of things that I want to share with teachers that I think I, if I were a teacher starting out, some information that I would like. Okay, and I'm also Ungjin speaker. This is my first speaking gig though, so let's see how that goes. Okay, what you will learn in this live stream, in this presentation, you're going to learn some tips on classroom management, teaching techniques for younger learners, how to do lesson planning. I know a lot of teachers struggle with that one. How to teach phonics, and games and activities that you can use in your classroom. See, teachers are always looking for ideas. If you're not a teacher, maybe it's difficult to imagine, but as a teacher, you're in that classroom, you're just looking for ideas how to work with these students, how to get the best out of them. Yeah, it's a little scary if you're a new teacher going into a classroom and you don't have an idea of what to do. So hopefully with this presentation, even if you are an experienced teacher, you can take some tips from it. And if you're a new teacher, maybe it'll help you in your career ahead. Okay, now I'm quickly going to go to reading oceans, and I'm really glad that I'm practicing it because there are some issues I've got a new laptop, so I have to get the flash ready. So I'm just going to show you quickly how it works. I'm not going to do everything as it should be. So because with this new one, I can log in, but then there's an issue with the flash. See, the flash is blocked, so I have to do that all over again. But as a backup, I've got a quick one I want to show you here. So this is the first product that I want to share with you. It's from Ungjin. It's called Reading Oceans. And I think this is a fantastic resource. It's got hundreds of books of various levels that students can learn from. If you look at this PPT that I've got from them, normally I would use the website, but I don't have the website working right now. So the first one, so you've got nursery rhymes. They sing these nursery rhymes to students. They show the words. It's very colorful, very interactive. There are games based on it too. So if you have a young learner that wants to learn English and they want to practice, this is a fantastic site, especially now when everybody's indoors and the only way we can actually learn is online. We have to start looking towards these resources. Right, especially nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes are made for young learners. It's got a beat, it's got a rhythm, and they just love the repetition of the words that they can use. It's also got some phonics lessons. And then the readers themselves. I mean, how important is reading? Right, so they say that the majority of people, if you really want to be successful in life, you need to read more. And so many of our young learners just aren't reading enough. So I want you to encourage your children or your learners to just read more. And these readers are fantastic. They can be read to them. They've got various levels. Look at this. It's got almost 25 different ones over there. Here's the phonics one. You can see it's got the sounds. It's got a workbook. It's got questions. And you can play a video too. I wish I had this when I first started teaching because it's got the simple little sounds here. You don't need books. You don't need anything. And once the learner learns how to do this on their own, they're just going to keep on learning. You don't have to supervise them that much because they're playing games and they're learning English. Look, here are some examples of the ebook. It reads it for you. with the nursery rhymes, you can have it be read in a female voice and a male voice. Fantastic. They've got some quizzes afterwards and flashcards, so they're learning the words. You can see here word games. You can do a book report. So many things down there. Okay, now when I do this on Wednesday, my live stream's on Wednesday, and it's for the Chinese teachers out there. So hopefully I will have that fixed. But this is reading oceans. Now let's get to the teaching tips. Understanding the craft of controlling kids. Now, what will you learn in this unit? First, we will look at what phonics is, some difficulties that teachers have with the learners. Let me just see if everything's okay before I continue. Is everybody still happy? I'm just quickly checking. Okay, Beth, I can see you. Mom, yes, you can see me now. Is everything okay? The live stream over here. Guys, if you want to put in comments on YouTube, you can put in comments if you go there and check it out. I should send you a link or something, but yeah, go onto YouTube. There you can post comments and talk about it too. Yeah, what do you guys think about this? Is it okay? I'm not crazy. I thought this, I wanted a more colorful yellow, but this looks kind of faded. Oh well, you know, I need to learn more about colors before I get these sheets. Okay, let's continue. Everything looks okay. Is the sound okay? Yeah, I'm very excited to try and do this. You know, I've done my YouTube live streams before, but that's just me talking. This is going to have to be a little bit more professional. So I'm wearing the tie. I got this as a present from someone, but someone told me it looks like I look like Trump. I'm not sure. Although I do need to get a haircut. I'll get it maybe next week. I like my hair short. Yeah, let's continue. So the next one was, what is phonics? Phonics. We're going to go through this. What is phonics? Difficulties with the young learners. What type of mindset should a teacher have? Because there's definitely a relation between what type of mindset a good teacher has and then a teacher that's just struggling for air, that's drowning. You have to have the right mindset. Classroom control. This is the biggest question most teachers tell us. You know, they go into a classroom and they don't know how to control these 20, 30 kids. What do you do? And then student engagement is, how do you get these young learners interested and having fun in your classroom? I'm just going to share some ideas. Maybe some of them will work for you, maybe some won't. But I'm so happy that you're watching this, because any information is better than none. Right. Okay, so what is phonics? Teaching phonics in ESL, English Second Language, is a step-by-step process that familiarizes students with the sounds needed to produce English. Okay, so the students are learning the symbols and what sound goes with it. So A can be A or A, or they've got different sounds, right? So it says here, rather than teaching the 26 letters of the alphabet, the students learn the correct pronunciation of over 40 phonemes. So like I said before, A and A. So even though it's written the same, it has a short sound and a longer sound. And there are 40 phonemes that we have to teach these students. Students learn how to recognize the letters, the sounds they produce, and therefore learn how to transfer that knowledge into basic reading skills. Yeah, there are different levels. So first, the students are going to memorize and recognize the different symbols and their sounds, and they're going to find examples of how to read it. And then once they get to more difficult words, they're going to start blending it and mixing them and start using them together. And that's how reading actually is taught. Okay, now, what are some difficulties that we have with young learners? I told you before, I've taught every level. So I think there's a sense of, with all the students, you can communicate with them and they've already been taught all the things. Also, they're more in control of their bodies and their emotions, where younger learners, they're just learning and they're playing and they want to feel things. So we as teachers have to kind of change the way that we interact with these learners. The way that you teach an elementary school student, a middle school student, high school, and a very young learner, totally different. And you've got to change the way that you do it. So what are some difficulties? They might be very nervous. Many of them, their brought in out of their house into a new environment without their mom, without their dad. So they're going to be a little bit nervous and scared. What can we do about that? We have to make sure that they have a safe space and they feel that, when they come to your classroom, there's an atmosphere that makes them feel safe and they want to learn. It's fun. And, once you go into those classrooms, you've felt that before when you go into a classroom where the kids, they just love the teacher and they enjoy learning. You can feel that atmosphere in there. So as a teacher, you are supposed to be the one to create that. You can do it through structure and routine. As the teacher, you should have these routines that the kids can follow, because if they have a routine, they know, this is what I'm supposed to do. You are teaching them not only English, but you're also teaching them how to follow the rules in the classroom and how to be safe. And once they understand that, they'll feel a lot better too. I will also add to this. It should be structured, but it should be in a safe and fun way. They shouldn't be, a prison has structure, but they're not necessarily going to learn in a prison. So there is a balance that you should have. Next, a short attention span. These kids are young, they're still learning. They're looking at a butterfly, then they want to do this, then they're crying about that. How can you keep their attention as a teacher? As a teacher, you should have fun activities and they shouldn't be too long. Should probably be 5 to 10 minutes and then switch to the next activity. Don't have a lot of downtime. I mean, when we think of like a great lesson that we had when we were in elementary or high school, we imagine ourselves just sitting there. It's totally quiet in the class and we're just working. Elementary school, it should have a balance between having fun activities and then quickly switching to a different activity that keeps them engaged but quiet, and then another one. So you should constantly be switching activities depending on the energy in the classroom. Don't just try and do one activity for 30 minutes. Have different one plan. Okay, next, discipline. How do you discipline these young children? They're growing up, these young humans. Don't do direct punishment. Don't shout, don't scream, don't, force them to do things, or, have routines in place. And when a child actually transgresses and doesn't do what you want them, tell them, okay, listen, this isn't right. Let's do it this way. You should start having these routines and let them follow it. They should learn what is right and what is wrong, and you should gently guide them in the correct way. Right. Never scream at your students. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes, because as soon as you start screaming or talking too loudly to them, then you're always going to have to balance that level. Be strict, be strong, but don't lose control. That's the worst thing you can do. Now, a lot of young learners, they just don't understand, so you have to teach the basics. Sometimes as teachers we think, this is so easy, the kids will get this and it's boring. So we plan a lot of activities and we try and do too many things. We try and, make it very, very difficult for them because we think it's too easy. With young learners, you want them to understand 100% and then some. You want them to understand exactly what they should do, right? So teach them slowly and methodically and double check that they've understood something. That's why we do these reviews over and over again. And you know what's beautiful? Young learners actually love repetition. You've seen it before. Kids, you put a movie in front of them, they like it, and if they like it, they keep on watching it. I remember growing up, we had some movies. We went to my grandmother's house and we would just watch these movies over and over again. Same with music. You get into a car, there's one song they like, they want to listen to it the whole time because they love repetition, because that's how they learn. As a teacher, you want to mimic that and create lessons and activities and a routine in the class that the students actually love, and they need that. They enjoy it. Okay, so like I said, if they don't understand, very basic, slow down what you do. Try different strategies and approaches to make sure you reach these students. Okay, then Another problem is that a lot of the students are too energetic. They're bouncing around. They're doing too much. And you as a teacher, you're like, no, I just want them to be calm and have nap time. Why can't they be like that the whole time? That's not how it is. Kids need to use up their energy. They need to have fun. And then other times, once they've had all their fun, they also need to rest, and have nap time. So what can you do as a teacher? That energy, you should guide it. Don't fight it. Have activities that gets them to jump up and down and to play and be engaged, because all that time that they're expending their energy, they're going to relax, and then you can do the other activities with them. Don't try and control them. Don't shout at them. Rather guide them and have fun chants or dances or games that you can play with them. Okay. Wow, guys, I'm talking so much. I know I'm talking very quickly. It's because I think I want this to be done in like an hour. It's already 20 minutes, and I don't think I'm that far yet. Okay, well, let me carry on, guys. Did you leave any messages? Let me quickly check here while I'm here. Chants or dances or games that you can play with. There. My uncle said something. Beth is still there. We've got Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Oh, you just joined. Yeah, I think we've got a few people here. And then on the live stream, I don't know. I don't see anyone on the YouTube. I'm not sure if YouTube's showing. If anybody can go to YouTube and just check for me. It says it's live, but there's nobody watching on YouTube. So I'm using a new platform. I have to see if it's actually working out. But I'm going to continue. This is just practice. I'll put this out later. If it doesn't come out, it'll save it on this program I'm using. Okay, let's continue. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab some water. I'll be right back. Wow. Okay, is everybody ready? Am I standing in the middle? I think so. Yeah, I'm standing in the middle. Okay, everyone, let's continue with this seminar. Okay, we talked about the difficulties with young learners. Let's look into the mindset. Now, this is something that you can control. This is all up here. Your mindset as a teacher can determine your success in the classroom. Remember, as the teacher, you are the leader in there. You are the boss. Be the sturdy oak. You are patient, you are kind. The kids should be the rabbits going around. Don't go running after each child. You should be the one leading them. So have that image of your mind of the sturdy oak. Be calm, be patient, have authority. I think authority is the word we need. A lot of teachers, the problem is a lot of teachers go into the classroom and they've never had the opportunity to be a leader, and now all of a sudden they need to lead. And that's the biggest problem we have. At school, we teach our kids, okay, guys, you have to listen to the teacher, listen to the teacher. Now when the roles are reversed and suddenly this student became a teacher, now they don't know what to do when they first get into the classroom. Next one, don't copy your old teacher. Oftentimes, we as teachers, we think, okay, how can I be the best teacher? And you think about a teacher that you had in the past that you see as an authority figure that taught you really well. And everyone was quiet in the class. They were so strict and strong. You can take certain characteristics from that, be a stronger person, but the classroom's changed. You in a classroom with young learners, you want to let them to have fun and to learn and to be part of the group. You don't want them to be quiet and just writing and listening. That old adage of be heard, what is it? Don't be seen, don't be heard. Something like that. Wait, be seen, not heard. There we go. Be seen but not heard. Okay, yeah, that's all. No, you want your kids to be engaged, but in a way that you can control the classroom. Okay, get attention. Be playful, be engaging. You see teachers going in there and they're like, hey, look at me. Hey, that's not going to work. You should have fun games. You should be expressive. You should be engaging. So do chants with them. Do movements. Play games. Simon Says. anything to get their attention. Because ultimately, if you cannot engage the learners, they won't learn. They won't give you respect. You have to get them to look at you. And there are many different ways that you can do it, but I think it depends on your value in the classroom. What fun do you show them? What kind of guidance can you give them? As even young learners can pick that up, and you have to find these ways to do that. One way to do that is by using humor. Have fun, laugh, play jokes. If you are normally a very serious person, try and find a part of your personality that is more fun, because the kids will enjoy that. It doesn't mean that you need to be a clown, though. There's a difference between being funny and having between being a clown and having a fun class, right? You let them have fun. You show them how to have fun, but you don't need to be the center of attention as a clown. Have fun, be funny, but don't be a clown. I think that's one of the things. Okay, guys, do you get this? Is it okay? Let's move on. Next, student engagement. No, something more important. Classroom control. The majority of new teachers, this is the thing that's the toughest for them. How can they control these kids running in their class? Especially with young learners with heaps and heaps of energy. How can you actually control them? Now, the first thing, your voice is the most powerful weapon you have. What you can do is you can vary your tone. You can speak loudly and you can speak softly and you can speak quicker and slow down. Use your voice wisely. You do not want to be monotonous. You want to change it up. Routine. Start routines in your class. Students, when they get inside the class, they have to know 100% what is the first thing they do, second thing, third thing. They need to know, okay, this is what we need to do in this teacher's class. Once you don't have routine, they're not going to care and they're going to start acting out, because now suddenly there isn't the safe routine that they can fall back on, the safe space. They're going to start acting out. So you want to have routine in your classroom. Next, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. We do have students that, have difficulty focusing, or they want to play with their friends, or they're loud, or they're too energetic. Put them next to you. While the other students are working or writing, have them close to you so that you can talk with them and interact with them instead of them bothering their friends. Move the class around. So kids are going to run around, they're going to play games. But if you rather be the ringleader, focus the game. Say, okay, we're going to do hopscotch, jump on all the A's or all the B's. Or Simon says, everybody touch your head. Jump up, jump down. You can do chants where everybody has a movement. They can sing. Be the ringleader of the circus, right? They're going to have energy. Just focus them in the right direction. Okay, another thing, eye level. If you do have to reprimand a child and you have to talk to them seriously, don't stand over them. That can be so threatening. And if you're standing over a child and you're talking to them, they're going to have a fight or flight response, right? They're going to be very scared. Imagine you're this tall human talking down at a child. Rather get down, get eye level, smile at them, and talk with them. They will appreciate you more and they will love you for that. Okay, long term, that's going to work out. Then this comes back to the other thing. If the students like you, classroom management is a breeze. So if you provide them a safe environment, you let them have fun, you focus their energy, and you understand them. They know that they can trust you with what they're learning and with their lives. They will just love you, and then classroom management doesn't even matter. Okay, is everybody okay? Student engagement. Now the next one is, how can you engage the students? Well, I think the most important thing is for new teachers to go out and collect as many ideas and activities as possible. Go online, watch videos like these, go to other teachers, ask them what is the best ideas or activities you have. Start collecting it and then using it for yourself to see what works and what doesn't. So the more ammunition you have to use, the better you will be. So start learning, make a master file with all these ideas. Because, even with all these years of teaching, I still forget all the things that I've done. Okay, now, in your classroom, you want it to be colorful. You want to use objects because you know what? Students are very tactile. See, this is my friend Lion. Have you ever seen how the kids interact with puppets? Right, so you can have puppets, you can have balls, you can have things all around the classroom, but you want it to be colorful and engaging. If you've got a boring prison-like classroom, the students won't, be able to use their imagination. Isn't that right, Lion? Yeah, he agrees, right? So you can use flashcards. Use things that the students can touch and interact with. That'll make your life so much easier. I think, the last type of learning that we can remember is from university. It's from high school where we just sit with books. But these kids, they've got these wild imagination, and we should be able to encourage that. Right. Okay. So, I've got another one here too. So sometimes they can talk together. Mr. Mouse and Mr. Lion. Okay, then student engagement. Remember structured classes. I'm going to go over this a little bit later. You should have routine. Your class should have a structure to it. And in between the activities, there should be low downtime. Downtime, what is that? Is in between activities, the students relax or they do what they want to. Kids will find a way to fill up that downtime, and usually it's not the best way to do it. They will tease each other and they will run around. So make sure that you quickly move to the next activity. Then engage their senses. This comes from it. So for example, if you're talking about something, you can say, "Oh, what smells like that? Oh, what is that?" You should emote and you should use their senses. Oh, and what is that? Listen, listen. So try and engage their senses. They want to feel things, they want to listen, they want to see colors. You got to start thinking about this a whole different way. How can you let the imagination come out? And that brings us to TPR, total physical response. This is playing games, movement. If you're talking about hands, feet, let them touch it. Let them have small ways of acting out. I'm going to show you some fun chants that you can do. With chants, they have movements and the kids just love it. Okay, and with phonics, for example, too, I'm going to get back to this. For every sound, you want to have a movement. For example, cat. If they're going to learn the C for cat, you can say cat, cat, cat. Or for dog, you can do dog, dog, dog. Ball, 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 ball. Use their senses, guys. Total physical response. Get them moving. It's great. Now, lesson structure. First off, I'm going to play you a small song. Now, lesson structure makes your life super easy. And here's another tip. I told you that every class should have the same structure. If you start every class the same way, when the students get inside the class, they automatically know what's first. And a good thing you can do is teach them the ABC song. Now, I found this video online. I'm quickly going to show it to you. It's a great idea. It's basically you teach the kids this alphabet song. They don't need to know it from the start, but you can start teaching it to them. When they get inside the class, you play the song, they will look up and they will start doing the movements. It's such a great thing because you can use this the whole year round. A is for apple, B is for ball, C is for cat, D is for dog. Okay, so do you see here? These kids just love it, and you can teach them these moves and play this song for them. I'll put this in the link below. You can play this song and you can teach them. Even if they don't know the phonics, they will try and move around. Even if you're still busy teaching them these words, or even if it's things they haven't learned before, just by learning the movements and also the words, they'll try and mouth it. It's fantastic. You can use it the whole year around. I'm going to continue with this so you can see some more.
E is for elephant, elephant, F is for fish, fish, G is for gorilla, gorilla, H is for hat, hat.
See the repetition? Fantastic.
I is for igloo, igloo, J is for juice, juice, K is for kangaroo, L is for
I want to stop there quickly. Remember, so obviously, this is multimedia. We should use all the tools we have. Some classes you might not have access to YouTube or to this. The same principle applies. Look, it's having a routine, having something fun that they can do with their hands, and they can be creative, and they're just repeating it every time. I'm going to finish this quickly so that you can get some ideas for the rest of it.
M is for monkey, monkey, N is for nose, nose, O is for octopus, octopus, P is for pig, pig, Q is for question, question, R is for ring.
Okay, ring. I don't know if you saw that before, but remember, I think the best way with classroom management, the teacher there was one boy not paying attention, and she just looked at him, and then they continued, and he did something again, and then she just said his name, and she looked at him, and he knew that he should pay attention. I think a lot of teachers, either they do too much, they're like, oh, shh, or everybody pay attention. No, I think the lowest method that you can use is probably the best. Okay, we're at R, we're almost finished.
S is for sun, sun, T is for ten, ten. U is for umbrella, umbrella, V is for van, van. W is for watch, watch, X is for box, box.
Look how engaged those kids were. See, this is a great example of how to get the students. And so if you do something like this every time you start class or at the end of class, the kids love that routine. So have things like this that you can do that the students can learn. But now I'm going to teach you something very important. Lesson structure. Many times we think, oh, we want to use different ideas and we want to try different lessons. You can do that, but you should always have the right structure. And I'm going to show you what I think is a good structure. So first, when you start class, you should have some kind of warm-up. The kids are in class. You want them to be active and enjoy it. You want them to use a little bit of energy. Think of a movie. You have, the intro. It should be very engaging. Everybody should watch. So you want a fun way to start and a fun way to end. I'll get to the ending now. So with the warm-up, it should be fun, energy. You can do a chant. There are lots of chants on YouTube. Also, the books have a lot of chants. You can play some kind of game. You can tell them a fun story and they can act along. Okay, so warm-up, fun. And you will see there are two types of activities. Stirrers, meant to let the students get energy, and then settlers for students to relax. Because you don't want this just energy the whole time, because students will just lose it. You want to have a lot of energy, then bring it down. A lot of energy, relax. Energy, relax. You kind of want to have that push-pull and those ups and downs. And if you're the teacher that can control that, you'll have a much better class. So you start with a warm-up, and now you go down and this is your teaching phase. In phonics, this is where you're going to teach the words or the sounds you want them to learn now. So you'll show them examples, or you're going to teach them. You can ask them questions. This is where you have to do the teaching part. So you can let them sit down, you explain something. The focus for them should be on listening. They should just be listening to you and taking in information. You can ask them a few questions, but mainly this is where you are teaching. Then after that, you want to practice. So you've been teaching them, you asked them a few questions, you showed them on the board. Now it's suddenly you have to do something with more energy, and that's the practice. Play a game, use flashcards, use a board race. You can let them act things out by playing Pictionary or charades. So they can draw it on the board or they can act something out. You show them the flashcards or the cards, you write it down, anything that lets them practice this new information you taught them. Okay, so warm up, you're teaching, relaxing, and then play a game. Guess what we're doing now? Now they're going to practice on their own. It could be some kind of writing activity, writing out the words, doing some exercises in their books. The books I'm going to show you later called Jungle Phonics are fantastic for this. So yeah, you can just look at that and let them do the activities in the book or whatever activity on their own or with a partner, but it should have a calming effect. Then review. Once again, amp up the energy, have a fun game to check their understanding, to review. You want to start on a high and you want to end on a high, and make sure the students learn something. Jimmy, what did you learn today? A is for apple. What is an apple? Right? Go and tell your parents, because these kids, once they feel like they've learned something, they go to their parents. They're like, Mom, guess what I learned today? What is this? It's apple. And the parents will also be proud because their kids are sharing this with them. So end on, when you do your review, your game at the end, have a strong ending. It's just like any presentation. When you do a presentation, your warm up, you're going to get the people's attention, then you're going to teach them, and then at the end you strike again and you end on a high. Remember that. Okay, lesson structure, good? Okay. I'm so sorry on YouTube. I think this isn't broadcasting on YouTube. It's just on Facebook. Family and friends watching this, thank you so much for watching my live stream. From next week, I'll just be on YouTube. And this Wednesday, I'm going to be doing the seminar for Chinese English teachers. And that will be on a Chinese platform. So I'm very excited about that. This is a new chapter where I try and do some teaching through seminars. And this is my first one. So yeah, any tips, any ideas, please share them with me. What did you think about this so far? I know I'm speaking very quickly. It's because I wanted to do this in an hour. I think it's going to be 10 minutes too long. What about the content? Is the content okay? Are you learning anything? Yeah, thank you so much for watching, by the way. Now, almost done. The fourth last one. Phonics tips. Teaching the basics. Okay, now, when you teach phonics, what is phonics again? It's basically when you teach the sounds and the characters, which sounds go with which characters, and that will help them to read English. So phonics tips, fun. If you have a fun class, the learners will learn faster. The students will learn faster. If you have a boring class, they're going to hate it. They're not going to enjoy it. But if it's fun and it's interesting, they're going to learn faster. Also focus on the mechanics of the sounds. When you speak, you want to be expressive and also show them your mouth. Get them to get the mechanics right, to show your mouth slowly and clearly. So, and then let them repeat it until you are happy. Have an action for each phoneme, like I said. A, apple, apple. B, ball. See, I'm just emoting. Next, basics first. Don't make it too complicated. Sometimes we see these, let's say A, B, C, and we think, oh, this is so easy. The kids have done it before. Show them the basics, and if they do, and you feel like they do know it, push them a little bit harder, make it a little bit more difficult, but make sure that they understand everything first. Don't try and teach them too much. It reminds me of, I think it was my first class that I taught. I was a student teacher, and actually my younger brother, I was teaching him at the time, And the teacher told me a week before, okay, Eric, I want you to teach this part of the book to them. And obviously, I thought, oh, well, I can do this so well. And I went and I researched and I made this big, complicated lesson with things that so they were elementary or primary school students at the time. But what I was trying to teach them was maybe high school level because I thought it's too easy. And I was just ranting on. But I remember they were very patient and they looked at me, and the teacher, actually, she should have said something to me, but she didn't. But yeah, I just remember I tried to make it too complicated. Get the basics right first, guys. Then listening first. Let the students listen. Don't expect them to suddenly start talking. Get them to listen to it first. Once they're ready, they'll start talking. Just encourage them in the right way. Um, then this is maybe the problem for me now, is in your class you want to speak as little as possible, so you should have clear instructions, but you want to get the students to do it instead of you doing all the work, right? Keep them active, get them doing all of the work, because a big mistake I see with teachers is they're trying to carry the class with their energy and they're trying to do everything. No, delegate. Get the students to play the games. Get them to sing the songs. Get them to dance. You are their instructor. You're their teacher. You're their motivator. But you should not be the clown dancing for them. Okay, I think that's like the best part that I hope you watch this part, because that's the most important part to anyone. Okay, now I'm quickly going to look at the phonics learning process. Like I said before, the first part is identification and isolation. So basically, they look at the separate 40 phonemes and how to say them. They recognize the letter symbol and the sound that goes with it, and they also learn some examples. So for example, if they're learning a, ant, apple. I wanted to say something else now, but apple, ant. Any examples they should learn that goes with it? Action. Oh, they've got another one. So make an action with it, and also practice minimal pairs. For example, P and F. Some have that problem, so make sure that they understand the difference. L and R. Give them examples, let them practice it, because this is the most important part. This is where they learn the basics of the English language. If you mess up, these kids might be uninterested in language in the future. So do it well to prepare them for a successful future. Good. So the first part, identification and isolation of single phonemes. The next part is blending and segmenting. That's when you blend the phonemes to produce simple words. And you can play different games with it too. Like, let's say you want to make a clock. So you would put a C and a L down and a B and a L, and they have to hopscotch to make the sound. That's a really fun one. Okay, so for example, you've got lots of letters on the floor and they have to spell out ant. So they have to jump on A or N, or not on the flashcard or letter. They can jump next to it, but you understand what I mean. And always get the students to repeat after you. It should always be the students trying to copy and mimic you. And once that's also a type of routine that you can set in. The students have to repeat after you. It should be a game. Try and sing it to a rhythm. A, 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 A. Make it fun for the students, right? You can whisper A, 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 or you can do different sounds. So you crouch down, you say A, and then you go up a little bit, A, A, A. It's really fun. The students love that. So have fun ways that you do this, and get the students to repeat after you. And then the last part is the writing. It's the final part of phonics. This is where they should actually write out the word and start making the words together. This can be a difficult one, but they should definitely do it. This is very important. Okay, now guys, I think that's about everything that I wanted to talk about. How to get classroom management for younger students, your mindset, how to teach phonics, what is phonics. Now, instead of just talking about it, I want to show you examples. But unfortunately, I do have a problem with the website where I tried to log in, but I think the password expired. But I do have access to some examples of it. So I'm quickly going to show you this. So in Jungle Phonics, there are 4 books. The first one is single letter sound, so that's basically the alphabet, A to Z. Short vowel sounds, an, ad, en, in, ot, Long vowel sounds, aim, ein, o's, op, oon, use. And then consonant and vowel blends, bl, sh, I, l, r. And this is how students learn. This is the progression that I told you about before, the identification, the blending, and then they also do writing in it. Okay, I'm quickly going to show you this book series. This is a fantastic book series for phonics. If you need a book, do that. Actually, I went in here somewhere. Is everybody still okay? Yeah, no, it's not showing up. Oh, there's one person watching on YouTube. Hey, if anybody's on YouTube, say hello, put something in there. Facebook, is everybody still there? Wow, lots of people joined. Well, hello everyone. I didn't mean to put it on my Facebook. I wanted to put it on my Facebook group, but thank you for watching. I know I've been talking really quickly, so let me quickly show you this fantastic book series that I've been doing. Let's click on Korean. No, where was it again? We'll go English and then we'll click here. Okay, here we go. Jungle Phonics. It won't be, it'll just be an example of it, but I think I can still use this for teaching purposes, just to show you what it's like. So here you can go. With younger students, you want to have themes in your classroom. You want to use themes, animals, games, colors, you can do jobs. You want to have themes that they can relate to. And with Jungle Phonics, obviously we're going with this. Okay, let me show you. This is the workbook. It won't show the whole workbook, but I want to quickly just, where can I go in? I've been in here now. Show us examples. New preview. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I would like to show the whole one, but this is a fantastic book series. Okay, so as you can see, it's got all these ones here. You can basically, I would suggest doing 3 letters for each lesson. So A, and then B, and then C. So for example, how to use this book. They've actually got the ABC songs.
Track 2.
Let me just do a few. So it's got all these songs that you can use with the letters of the alphabet.
A, B, C, D.
When the students come into the class, play this song, have movements that they can do, have some kind of chant. So here's what a basic book looks like. They're going to learn about and you're going to show them the ant and the apple and the alligator. You can write it on the board and you can say, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? And let them listen and then let them practice with you. Listen and repeat. And you've got the sounds that
Unit
you
1.
do with it.
A, B, C. Track 3. Listen, point, and repeat.
And let the students also point.
A.
A. Let the students repeat after you. And there are also some chants that they can do. So first you want to make sure that they know what sound goes with which character. Alligator, apple, and let them say it with you. Once they've done that, they can trace, and then they can also do these games. I told you about it before. So first you would have your warm up, maybe some kind of chant. With your teaching, you're going to teach A, apple, ant. You can show it to them. You can be like, apple, ant, and let the students copy doing that. Alligator. It should be fun, and then you can point and let them practice it. And so first you have your warm-up, your teaching, then you have to play some kind of game where they can practice it. Like I said before, you can do charades, you can do different types of games, hopscotch, you can let them draw on the board, anything that gets them engaged. There are a ton of flashcard games you can do too. One great flashcard game I like, so let's say you've got ant, alligator and apple. You put them in different corners of your room. You have one student in the front and they close their eyes and they count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other students have to pick a corner to stand in. Then that student says ant, and everybody standing at the ant is out and they have to sit down. and you continue playing that until only one person is left and they switch. You can start by doing it first. You can say, okay, everyone, I'll go first. Ant, who's an ant? And then you look, and it's a really fun game. There are lots of examples that you can find on the internet, but you should be making a big file of all these games so that, you know, the more experience you get, the more games and activities you have to use with your students. Okay, so warm up, teaching, practice. Now they can do the writing and the activity. Very important though, we are sometimes so happy that students just do the work, but make sure that those letters are perfect. Erase them, say, oh, Johnny, I think you can do better. One more time, one more time. And then let them do it perfectly, because you don't want them to start getting sloppy, because then the rest of the year they'll just continue being sloppy and their work will suffer. They can also play these great games. You can see here, find the A, write the A, listen and trace. There's some more here too. What I really like about the series is once you do ABC, they've got some review games that they can play. As you can see here, they've got a story
Track
that you can
13.
read.
Read the
Who's
story.
ant? And remember, as they are reading, let them point, let them emote, let them be active, let them enjoy this, right? You should constantly think, how can I make this
See
more
the
fun
ant.
for the students?
The ant is on the
controlled way.
alligator.
So yeah, it's got games, and even at the back of most of these books, for especially these books, these Jungle Phonics, they have extra games that you can play on the CD. Really fun games like flash games, like pairs, lots of great games that you can play during this. Yeah, you can see this is Jungle Phonics. It's the first series. It's got 4, and once they graduate from that, they've got super reading, non-fiction, very easy. Yeah, guys, I think I'm almost done. This is basically Jungle Phonics, a fantastic book series. Next time I'd like to teach a little bit more. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. So I just want to tell you what I did today. Today we looked at, I introduced everything to you, reading, reading, what is it called again? Reading Oceans, fantastic series. I gave you some tips for teaching. We talked about lesson structure, phonics, how to teach phonics, and finally some examples with Jungle Phonics. Okay, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for sitting and watching this with me. This is just a way for me to practice for Wednesday. I was very nervous, but now my voice is kind of hoarse. Thank you for being out there, especially my Facebook friends and family. I'm going to put this on YouTube for my subscribers, and in the future, I will keep it on my group. Anyway, everyone, have a fantastic day. I love you all. Have a great night.